Hello Year 12 and welcome to our 6th video here for rates. Today we're looking at fuel consumption. Okay, so when we're driving a car, the more we drive, the more fuel we use, I suppose. Now some cars use more than others to travel the same distance. Right? We compare that fuel usage using a rate that is litres per 100 kilometres. This is a bit of a funny unit because until now we've pretty much exclusively had rates of something per something, right? Dollars per litre, kilometres per hour, something like this. But this time it's litres per 100 kilometres. Okay, so we've got to measure things in hundreds of kilometres. That's the only thing really that makes these a little bit trickier than usual. So let's have a look at some background to fuel consumption. So bigger cars tend to use more litres of fuel per 100 kilometres. Right? We would call that a worse fuel consumption, I suppose, or a higher fuel consumption. If you drive sort of conservatively, slowly, not much above 90 kilometres an hour, keep the revs low in your car, well, you'll probably use less fuel. Right? If you drive aggressively and brake hard frequently, well, you're going to use more fuel. Around the city, you tend to use more fuel because of that starting and stopping, compared to on the highway where you can sort of maintain a nice steady speed and not sort of waste any of the energy that you've used getting the car going faster. Now, we need to calculate fuel consumption. It's one of a few things we're going to do today, but most importantly, calculate fuel consumption. And what we do is we divide the distance we've travelled by 100. Okay, that's to give us hundreds of kilometres. So divide the distance travelled by 100 and then, right, take the number of litres we've got, the number of litres we've used, and divide that by your previous answer. Okay, so it's the litres divided by 100th of the distance. Here's an example, we'll see how it goes. So here, Ali's used 42 litres of fuel to travel 560 kilometres. So remember, to calculate the fuel consumption here, there are two steps to go through. First, divide the 560 by 100, and then divide 42 by that number. So it's 42 divided by 560 over 100. Right. So I've done them both in the one step here. I've used some brackets, right? We want the answer in litres per 100 kilometres. So we do the litres divided by hundreds of kilometres, right? 42 divided by 560 on 100, 7.5 litres per 100 kilometres. Now that answer is going to help us answer the rest of these questions. So the second question here, or the second part of this question, is how far can Ali's car travel on 12 litres of fuel? Well, you might remember when we did distance, speed, time, we always divide the distance. That's the thing that comes first in the rate. It's kilometres per hour. This is litres per 100 kilometres, so we're always going to divide the litres where we've got it. I want to know how far. I want to know the distance. I know the I know the litres, so I divide 12 by this rate here. 12 divided by 7.5. 12 divided by 7.5 gives us 1.6, but remember, these calculations give us hundreds of kilometres. So Ali can drive 1.6 kilometres, multiply that by 100, I get 160 kilometres is how far Ali can drive on 12 litres of fuel. Finally, how much petrol are we going to use for this distance? Now, how much petrol, right, that's the litres, that's the thing that I don't know, that's what I want to find out. Okay, normally we would divide the litres, which means I'm going to multiply my distance by my rate. So it's 7.5, but it's not times 1,530. Remember, we're dealing in hundreds of kilometres, so it's this over 100. So 1,530 over 100. That's how many 100 kilometres. Multiplied by 7.5 by our rate, and we get 114.75. That's how many litres we'd need to drive that far. Now, what's 1,530 k's from here? I don't know, Rockhampton maybe Adelaide, something like that. Okay, so 114 litres. Now, just about done here. Just a reminder of what we've done today. Fuel consumption is what this is all about, and we measure it in litres per 100 kilometres. We calculate it by dividing the number of litres by 100th of the kilometres travelled. Right? We divide the kilometres by 100. I divide my fuel by the number of 100 kilometres. Okay, that's it. Hope it made sense. If you've got any questions, please jot them down. We will have video conference session. You can ask me then. Okay, thanks very much.